Back at it, going to wrap up the week here on this Friday, 17th day of January, 2025. I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's cold. If you don't have a carport or a garage, you'll be scraping your windshield this morning. 21 degrees here in downtown Wenatchee. Ain't going to get real warm either. This has been a well-advertised Arctic blast. It's going to come down in from Canada. It's going to blanket like the entire United States, almost the entire continental United States, with the exception of like southern Texas, maybe a little bit of New Mexico, and into Florida. They're going to be spared this Arctic cold front, but everybody else is going to get really cold. But we got it easy compared to the Midwest. They're going to just get hammered with some really cold temperatures. Your rather chilly forecast is on the way, but sunshine, bountiful sunshine all day today. That's the Afreda camera you see behind us. It's just starting to creep up out there. The sun will be coming up here at about 7:42 this morning. So a lot of sunshine, not real warm and very, very dry. Static electricity has been a real problem with me over the last couple of days. Forecast details are coming up. A lot of news to get to. It's a busy day. We're not going to waste a lot of time. We're going to get going here pretty quickly. We have a lot of sports because it's January. We've got high school sports to talk about. Heartbreaking loss for the Kraken last night up in Winnipeg. A last-second goal did them in. We'll have all the results from prep sports from yesterday and what's happening this weekend. We got basketball tomorrow. The Panthers and the Wildcats at the Wenatchee High School Gymnasium. Girls will tip off at 4:30. The boys about 20 minutes after that. Grant Olson with the call. We'll have it for you right here on the NCWLIFE channel. And two interviews in the back half of the program. It's a bonus interview. The Empty Bowls project is tonight, so we wanted to give Alan Walker another blast of love. It's all a fundraiser for the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council. Alan Walker will tell you about how you can participate in Empty Bowls. You got 15 bucks laying around and you want to help them out and you want to feel like painting a bowl, you can do that today at the Pybus Public Market. Preview from Alan Walker. And Lee Kalsitz is the brand new guy who's in charge of the Tree Fruit Research Center, Washington State's Tree Fruit Research Center up there on Western Avenue. Western and Springwater, I believe, is where it's at. Something, you know where it's at. Anyway, we had a chance to visit with Lee. He's got an important job to do. Lee Kalsitz and his conversation will come up also in the back half of the program. I've been meaning to get to it, haven't had a chance to. This morning, we do. One slide to show for you this morning from the National Weather Service. It is going to get chilly. The coldest temperatures right now, as of this morning, looks to be overnight Monday morning into Tuesday and overnight Tuesday morning into Wednesday. A lot of locations are going to see their overnight lows in the single digits. Omak, get ready for some cold weather. Right now in Omak, it is 16 degrees. It is 19 in Manson. You saw the Afreda camera. It's 27 there. It's 25 in Moses Lake. The warm spot right now is Quincy. Quincy's at 32. Everybody is going to get cold. We'll see our overnight lows will be in the teens. Some locations to the north of us, Omak, Okanagan, Orville, perhaps Pateros, Tenasket, and up the Medhow Valley. You're going to see overnight lows in the single digits starting possibly tonight, certainly Saturday night into Sunday, Sunday night into the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. So get ready for some cold temperatures and, again, very dry air. From the National Weather Service, here we go. Sunshine and a high of 36. We're going to have sunshine all day today, so we're going to be a little bit warmer than yesterday. We hit 34 yesterday. Sunrise this morning, by the way, 7:42. Sunset tonight, 4:41. That's 8 hours and 59 minutes of daylight. We go over the 9-hour mark tomorrow. Cold temperatures continue on Saturday. We're going to see a few more clouds. It's going to keep that radiant heat down a little bit, so we're only going to get to about 30 on Saturday. And then we're right back to nothing but bountiful sunshine, but a high of only 32 on Sunday. Overnight lows Sunday night into Monday and Monday night into Tuesday. The coldest in the forecast period will be in the teens. Again, some locations in the single digits. We'll be right around that 30, 31 degree mark with bountiful sunshine Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We warm up a little bit as the Arctic air mass begins to dissipate a little bit. By far the coldest overnight lows we've seen so far this winter season. But again, the trade-off is sunshine for pretty much everybody, especially today, Sunday, and Monday, with a few high passing clouds Saturday and Tuesday. All right, after a 2-minute break, what made news on this Thursday? Not this Thursday, it's Friday. What made news yesterday? I'll tell you in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts. Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710. Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular, family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. Warm up with one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
We're now at 23 degrees with clear skies. It's a beautiful morning, if not a little on the chilly side. Mid-30s today, but lots of sunshine. Couple of passing clouds, slightly cooler on Saturday. Bountiful sunshine and pretty cold temperatures, especially in the overnight hours for the balance of next week. 7 minutes after the hour, a Quincy man will serve up to life in prison after being convicted of multiple sex offenses against a child. 37-year-old Jose Omar Martinez Cruz was sentenced last week after a Grant County jury found him guilty of 7 felonies, including child rape and molestation. The Quincy Police Department began investigating Cruz back in January of 2022. After Child Protective Services learned of the allegations, he was arrested that May. Jurors convicted him in November after a one-day trial. Judge Tyson Hill sentenced him to 26 years to life. That's under Washington's indeterminate sentencing law. That means he will remain in prison, and then after his initial term behind bars, a review board will decide whether Cruz remains imprisoned for the rest of his life. The man convicted in a January 2024 murder just outside of East Wenatchee faces sentencing 1 month from now. 35-year-old Travis Earl Collins convicted Tuesday of shooting and killing Julio Cesar Garcia Ramirez of East Wenatchee. Authorities say it was a drug transaction. Garcia's body was found next to his truck in the 1700 block of Rock Island Road with a gunshot wound to the head. After a week-long trial in Douglas County, Collins, a resident of rural Leavenworth, was found guilty on all charges, including first-degree murder, assault, and robbery. Attorneys asked Judge Brian Huber to schedule his sentencing for February 18th. Collins faces at least 25 years in prison. Grant County firefighters were summoned about 10:30 Wednesday night to a fire in an RV park in Soap Lake. The parked motorhome caught fire in the 100 block of Fern Street North, was fully involved by the time crews from Fire District 7 got there. Nobody was injured, and they were able to prevent the flames from spreading to other structures, but unfortunately, one dog perished in the blaze. The fire district says the RV itself a total loss, as you can see there. The city of Leavenworth and the Chelan County PUD plans to conduct a land survey at the PUD's 13-acre property surrounding its Leavenworth office. The City Council approved a memorandum of understanding with the PUD at its Tuesday meeting. The study would determine whether the land could be the future home of Leavenworth's Public Works Department and possibly a substation for the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. The city could offer to purchase the land or lease the land. It's undeveloped. The memo is not a contract, but it puts those possibilities on the table. The PUD commissioners approved the same memorandum at their Monday meeting. And the Colville Confederated Tribes have harvested their first bison from a herd that was given to them by the Kalispel tribe. Colville biologists released their herd of about 30 buffalo in the northeast corner of their reservation in the fall of 2023, returning the animal to part of his historic range. The project was partially funded by a $5 million initiative from the United States Department of the Interior. Colville members harvested a single bison on Tuesday. The tribe's Fish and Wildlife Agency plans to harvest a total of 5 bison this winter, with the meat to be used for important ceremonies such as funerals, naming rights, and other large gatherings. That's a quick look at the news at 11 minutes after the hour. A more in-depth look at the news is something that people better than I do Monday through Friday at 5, 6, and 10. The NCWLIFE Evening News, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock right here on television. If that doesn't work into your schedule, you want to watch it when you're ready to watch it, and you have a half an hour to kill, it's up and running on the World Wide Web right around 5 o'clock. On our homepage, ncwlife.com, you can watch our news via our Facebook page. You can go to our YouTube page. Be sure to subscribe. It'll be right there. And if you think something is out there that might warrant a news story, or at least our inquiry, you get a hold of us. Send us an email. We'd appreciate it. news@ncwlife.com. Fridays in January means a lot of sports, and today is no exception. You'll find out together in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Her Royal Highness, Queen Ella Stimo.
Join NCWLIFE channel for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on Saturday, February 8th. Coverage is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Harvest Valley Pest Control, Merry Maids, Together for Youth, and the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Join us for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to Blueberry Hills to experience some real treats. Take a look at our homemade cream pies, our amazing cheesecakes, and don't forget our famous banana pudding. Remember, we're more than just great treats. People come from all over the world to experience what has been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
14 minutes after the hour in sports, Dylan DeMelo scored with just 27 seconds left to play. Unfortunately, Dylan plays for the Winnipeg Jets. Yeah, the Jets beat the Kraken last night 2-1. What a heartbreaker. Matty Beniers scored in the first period for Seattle. Joey DeCourt had a great game. He stopped 34 shots. The Kraken finished their 5-game road trip at a 2-3 record. They now return home to play the Los Angeles Kings on Saturday night. Men's college basketball last night, the Gonzaga Bulldogs have a tendency to win blowouts but lose the close games, and that's what happened last night. They went all the way to overtime, and then Oregon State pulled away in Corvallis. They beat the Zags 97-89. The Cougar men, though, beat San Diego 65-61. Women's college basketball scoreboard. Gonzaga ladies got by Portland by just 1, 66-65. A little bit easier for the Cougars down there in San Francisco. They took care of the Dons 74-58. As far as what's coming up this weekend in men's college basketball, Santa Clara will visit the Den to take on number 16 Gonzaga. That's Saturday afternoon at 6 o'clock. Earlier in the afternoon, Portland will be at Washington State at 3 o'clock. All the women's games are also on Saturday. In women's college basketball, the Huskies will be at Purdue. That'll be tomorrow at 2 o'clock on the Big Ten Network. Wazoo will be at Santa Clara. That'll be Saturday at 2 on ESPN+. And Gonzaga travels down to take on Loyola Marymount in women's basketball. That's also Saturday at 2 o'clock. All right, to the high school in girls prep basketball scoreboard, a non-leaguer from Moses Lake. They took care of Cascade 47-37. Chelan over Tenasket 59-53. Pateros got by Liberty Bell. Soap Lake over Cascade Christian Academy. Boys basketball last night. Moses Lake completes the sweep. They crushed Cascade 83-38. Chelan over Tenasket. Nespelem took care of Garden City Academy. I forgot to put the Y in there. That's my bad. Cascade Christian Academy over Pateros. Soap Lake beat Easton by 50. Thorpe, not quite 50, but they still took care of business against Ephrata. There's a lot of basketball this weekend. Prep girls basketball tonight. Cascade welcomes Nooksack Valley at 2 this afternoon. That's early. 5:30 tip-off. Eastmont welcomes Sunnyside. Wenatchee travels to West Valley. Moses Lake will be at Davis. Sealy at Quincy. And Ephrata at Grandview. Cashmere and Connell will tip off in Connell at 5:45. More girls basketball. Omak at Liberty Bell at 6 o'clock. These are all 6 o'clock tip-offs for this slide. Lake Roosevelt hosting Okanagan in girls basketball. Manson welcomes Bridgeport to town. Antioch takes on Orville. Pateros welcomes Curlew, and Waterville Mansfield and Wilson Creek will do battle in Wilson Creek's gymnasium at 6 o'clock. To the boys we go. Full slate. Again, all doubleheaders, so Sunnyside and Eastmont. In East Wenatchee at 7 o'clock. West Valley Wenatchee also at 7. Moses Lake and Davis. Sealy and Quincy. And Ephrata at Grandview. Connell and Cashmere will tip off 15 minutes later in Connell. Omak will be at Liberty Bell at 7:30 tonight. These are all 7:30 tip-offs for the smaller schools. Lake Roosevelt welcomes Okanagan. Bridgeport makes the trek to Manson. Waterville will be at Antioch. Curlew at Pateros, and Waterville Mansfield and Wilson Creek boys tip off at 7:30. That's all today. Tomorrow, another full slate of games. Freeman at Lake Roosevelt at 3 o'clock. We'll have the Eastmont Lady Wildcats and the Wenatchee Panthers from the Wenatchee High School Gymnasium. 4:30, Grant Olson with the call on the NCWLIFE channel. 3:45 tip-off for Cashmere and Wahluke. Chelan at Royal at 3:45. 4 o'clock tip-off for Antioch and Waterville Mansfield. Orville welcomes Soap Lake at 4:30. Ward and Okanagan at 6. Boys basketball on Saturday. Again, a full slate. Freeman at Lake Roosevelt at 4:30. The Wenatchee boys welcome Eastmont. Again, we will have that game for you at right around 6 o'clock, basically 20 minutes after the conclusion of the girls' game. While Luke at Cashmere at 5:15, same time for Royal and Chelan. Antioch travels to Waterville Mansfield. And the nightcaps tomorrow night in boys basketball, Soap Lake at Orville and Warden at Okanagan. Of course, we have Wenatchee and Eastmont. Boy, this will be good. We'll have a lot of fun with this one. We'll be there at 4:30. The girls tip off at 4:30. About 20 minutes after the girls conclude, the boys will play right around 6 o'clock. Grant Olson with the call live on television, also streaming on our Facebook and on our website at NCWLIFE.com. NFL playoffs this weekend. Saturday, it's going to be really cold. It'll be 14 degrees at kickoff in Kansas City tomorrow as the Chiefs welcome the Texans. That'll be on ESPN and ABC. The nightcap tomorrow in Detroit. Thank goodness they play indoors. The Commanders and the Lions will do battle at 5 o'clock on Fox. Then Sunday, 12 noon kickoff. It'll be cold in Philadelphia. Rams in Philadelphia at 12 noon on NBC. And the kickoff in Buffalo on Sunday at 3:30 will be 11 degrees as the Ravens do battle with the Bills. That'll be a good one. And we can't forget about the Wild hockey. 3 games in 3 days. Tonight they welcome Lethbridge for their only game against Wenatchee. That's at the Town Toyota Center tonight at 7 o'clock. It's diaper toss night tonight. Saturday, Wenatchee travels down to Kennewick to take on the Tri-City Americans at 6:05, and then Tri-City Wenatchee right back here in the big city, 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 19 minutes after the hour. Today is Kids Inventors Day. It is National Hot Buttered Rum Day. Good day for it, but I'm working. National Bootleggers Day. NASCAR got started because of bootleggers in the Deep South back in the 30s and 40s, making their moonshine up in the hills and outrunning the cops. It's Popeye Day, so eat your spinach. It's Cable Car Day. We don't have it here. But today is, well, if you bit off more than you could chew, on January 17th of each year, you can just say, "Nerds to my New Year's resolution." It's Ditch Your New Year's Resolution Day today, always on January 17th. A lot of people, not a lot, I would say most people make some kind of resolution for the new year, and it's common that people ditch them. Either it's too difficult or it was too unrealistic. Up to 45%, slightly less than half of all Americans make New Year's resolutions each year. The top 5 New Year's resolutions that you can now dispatch with today. Number 5, manage your money better. The 4th most popular New Year's resolution, eat better. Number 3, exercise more. Number 2, stop smoking. And number 1, lose weight. Only 8% of people who make New Year's resolutions each year actually keep their New Year's resolutions. So if you just don't want to do it anymore, today's the day. I don't even worry about any of that. I don't even make any New Year's resolutions. I mean, you can make a resolution any day. It doesn't have to be New Year's just because it's a new year. 21 minutes after the hour, today in history, no more booze. Well, kind of. 105 years ago today, January 17th, 1920, the 18th Amendment to the Constitution goes into effect. So prohibition comes to the United States. Of course, it was a complete and abject failure. Now, the 18th Amendment declared the production of alcohol, the transport of alcohol, and the sale of intoxicating alcohol illegal, although it did not actually outlaw the consumption of alcohol. So the idea was everyone was going to cut down on their drinking. It did the exact opposite effect, as we might imagine, and they said, well, this isn't such a good idea. And the 18th Amendment was overturned about 10 years later when everybody, sobered up. 18th Amendment started on this date in 1920. The Great Brinks Robbery, at the time, in 1950, 75 years ago today, it was the biggest robbery in U.S. history. 11 thieves stole $2.7 million from an armored car company's offices in Boston, the Brinks Armored Car Company. So it wasn't a bank, it was the armored cars that drive the money from banks to banks. $2.77 million was stolen. That's $34 million in today's money. They planned and trained for 2 years. It was 11 members of the group. They were smart because the cash that they stole was in denominations of $1 to $20 bills, which made it impossible to trace the bills through serial numbers. There was also about $1 million in coins in there, but they weren't prepared to find those, so they didn't take those. Weighed too much. One of the members of the gang, the other members thought this guy might say something. And so they tried to kill him. They shot him. He didn't die in the hospital 5 days before the statute of limitations was to run out, and they would have gotten away with it. The guy realized that it was his compatriots who tried to kill him. He told the tale, and they were all arrested. Of the $2.7 million stolen, by the way, only $58,000 was ever recovered. But they all ended up going to prison anyway. I don't know what happened to the other $2.2 million. 64 years ago today, the President of the United States delivers his televised farewell address to the nation. 3 days before leaving office, President Eisenhower on national TV said, "The military-industrial complex, we need to keep an eye on this. War is big business." It was 64 years ago today. It was true 64 years ago today. It's true today. But we know, listen, here it is.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. We should take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals, so that security and liberty may prosper together.
The entire speech, by the way, is available online. I highly recommend that you watch it. That was the most famous part of the speech, but he also said the United States government, in fact, any government, has no business spending money it doesn't have. He was dead set against deficit spending. And what do we have, a $800 trillion deficit or something like that? That was 64 years ago today. And we're doing Super Bowls, of course. It's that time of the year, Super Bowl V. Sometimes folks call it Super Bowl V. Baltimore defeats the Cowboys 16-13. The Orange Bowl in Miami. As far as quality of football being played, this was by far the worst. It was an ugly, ugly football game that became known as the Blunder Bowl, the Stupor Bowl. They had a blocked point after touchdown. They had penalties. They had turnovers. The officials screwed up a bunch of times. 11 turnovers combined by the two teams. There were 5 turnovers. In the fourth quarter alone, it was a last-second kick that won the game, but the game itself was ugly. The Colts' 7 turnovers remain the most ever committed by a team that actually won the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl, and they committed 7 turnovers. And Chuck Howley was named the most valuable player of the Super Bowl. He played on the losing team. He was a linebacker for the Cowboys. He was the only Super Bowl MVP from a losing team. He didn't take the trophy, but it came with a station wagon for the MVP, and he gave that to his wife because he needed it. Super Bowl V, 54 years ago today. Birthdays. None of our 3 celebrities are worth this anymore. This guy, if anybody gets the title, the first American, it's Benjamin Franklin. I read a biography on Benjamin Franklin about 20 years ago. Absolutely fascinating, much stuff I didn't even know about him. It's also a Ken Burns documentary that is well worth your time. The only president of the United States who was not president of the United States. It's amazing how many youngsters think he was. Ben Franklin is the only founding father to sign all 4 of the foundational documents of our country, the only one. He signed the Declaration of Independence, the Treaty of Amity and Commerce with France, the Treaty of Paris that ended the Revolutionary War, and of course, his name is on the U.S. Constitution, Ben Franklin. And he lived a long time. Most of the founding fathers did. He lived to the age of 84, which is impressive when you're born in 1706. Probably the most famous criminal in American history, Al Capone. Born in New York, but he made his name and made his bones in Chicago. He basically ran organized crime in Chicago, Al Capone. Born in the state in 1899, but he was good to his mother. And he had a brother who turned out to be a cop. Go figure that out. And the greatest, Muhammad Ali, would have been 83 years old today. In the 1970s and early 80s, he was the most recognized person in the world. The legendary Muhammad Ali, absolutely one of my favorites, and I miss him. A big deal. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. The Cash for Clunkers program is out. If your HVAC system is not working the way it should be, maybe it's just time for a new one. If you got an old one and you want a new one, get a hold of Alpine Air. You may get up to $2,000 in rebates from Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors. Mike Minotti's got an opinion coming up, and then we have 2 interviews to show for you. You're going to meet Lee Kalsitz, who's now the new guy in charge of the Tree Fruit Research Center from Washington State University. It's an important job. We had a chance to visit with him, and the Empty Bowls painting project is today at the Pybus Public Market. We'll hear from Alan Walker from the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council as well. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Who's trying to stretch their budget this January? That's pretty much all of us. That's why Abby's is offering this giant pizza that can feed up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 hungry people for less than $27. Now, that's an Abby's budget stretching deal. Worried about a no-fun January? Not at Abby's. Dine on our Bacon Cheddar Special. It's delicious and loaded with toppings and real cheese. Plus, it's on sale, and the kids can play some video games. Enjoy fun January at your local Abby's.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
I think that's a power line.
Nailed it. What the? Are you going to call 911 or should I?
Actually, we're late. I'm just going to drive over it.
Afraid not. Down power lines are super dangerous. If you see one, you call it in.
Yeah, I just drove up to a down power line.
She gets it.
Community is more than just a place. It's the people, stories, and connections we share. At the Wenatchee World, we're your neighbors, your storytellers, and your trusted voice. From uncovering the issues that matter most to celebrating the moments that bring us together. We deliver the stories that keep the community moving forward. The Wenatchee World, your community voice, here every day.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. We can just
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, I did an opinion piece here that was played on Wake Up Wenatchee, Dan Kuntz's show, that criticized ads for investment opportunities, and I mentioned that what I felt was the nonsense of running such an ad on the local radio station, KPQ. Now, Rosie, my wife, heard this, and she said, "Oh, you're going to get in trouble." And I said, "With who, KPQ?" I said, "What's KPQ going to do? They're going to send Dave Bernstein to come beat me up?" Hey, Rosie laughed, and I laughed, and that was the end of it. Well, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion. I mean, I think that's the end of it. You don't think they'll really do that, do you?
Bob's Classic Restaurant and Distillery, established in 1987, where we concentrate on what we do best, creating excellent food, exciting drinks, great customer service, and an imaginative atmosphere to craft an excellent dining experience for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Shareable or not, that's up to you. Bob's Classic dishes are handcrafted and full of flavor. Enjoy the experience at Bob's Classic with your family and friends today.
Greetings, Wenatchee Valley, from Collins Fashions. We love being a part of this wonderful downtown Wenatchee. Businesses up and down the avenue are here to serve you. Myself and my staff, Christy, Julene, Vicki, Judy, Georgia, and Ellie, say thank you for your support. We look forward to assisting you with your purchases, providing you with hand-picked quality merchandise. We wish you and your families an amazing and blessed new year. Collins Fashions, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
Elevate Home is the newest addition to Chelan's premier shopping district. Shop the latest from American Leather and Bassett Furniture, add in their on-site interior designer, and you'll have everything you need to elevate your space today.
You're invited to celebrate Winterfest at Lake Chelan. Enjoy sparkling lights, local wine tasting, and fun for all ages. It's a great time to start a new holiday tradition at Washington's Winter Wonderland. More information at lakechelan.com.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works Shared Membership Model. One membership, friends and family, and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
Welcome back to the program. Empty Bowls continues. It's the single biggest fundraiser of the year for the Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council. A couple of months ago, they did phase 1. Phase 2 is this Friday at the Pipes Pub Market. Then one more time in the month of February to talk all things Empty Bowls. And get us caught up on the Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council is the guy who runs it, and runs it well. Our good buddy Alan Walker. How are you, my friend?
Very good. Thank you for having me.
It's good to see you. Our media partner, the Wenatchee World, hosted a community forum at the Pybus Public Market at the local Event Center about a month ago in December to talk about food needs. Mike Malman, our mutual friend from Wenatchee Valley, was there. Your food guy was there as well, the guy who handles the food distribution at your headquarters out there on North Wenatchee Avenue. He spit out some numbers that sobering, I guess is the best way to put it. I was under the assumption that once COVID came and went, because people were losing their jobs, but they still had to feed their family, and the government stepped in with a lot of money, that it would that the acute awareness would rise, but the need would go down, and that's not going on at all.
It's not going on. In fact, we've seen numbers continue to increase. Even the last year in 2024, the number of people visiting the food markets, the pantries, continue to rise. Which was a little surprising, I think, across the state and across the country. We anticipated numbers to go down, but they have not. They continue to increase, and I think last year we did about 2 million pounds of food through our distribution center, and so we're receiving that, sorting it, repackaging, if you will, and getting that out to all the food pantries in the two-county area.
And how do you account for that? Is it more people in need, the price of food, all of those things? What is it?
I think it's a combination of all of those. You know, certainly the cost of food at the grocery stores is considerably, I feel like it's considerably higher than it was 12, 18 months ago, just when I do my own shopping. And I think people are starting to feel that pinch just a little bit there at the grocery market, and so they're looking for alternatives, and maybe it's just visiting the pantry once or twice a month just to kind of help them get by to the end.
And it's not just food, it's staples. It's eggs, it's meat, it's bread, things like that most pantries and most households have. The price of those basic staples have gone up.
Have gone up and gone up considerably. You know, and there's been some changes in laws, especially with eggs, where all eggs in the state of Washington now have to be quote-unquote free-range eggs, and that drove the price up just automatically with the cost of eggs. And so it really is impacting people. Yeah.
What do you tell people who come and visit your food market at 1700 North Wenatchee Avenue for the first time? Never had to do it before.
Yeah.
It can't be easy. How do you deal with these people who say, this is the first time in my life I've actually had to come down and get my card and get my cart and get some basics?
Yeah.
What's that like?
Great volunteers.
They'd have to be.
Yeah, we have some just incredible volunteers that help us out. We couldn't do it without them. And they are compassionate and caring individuals, and they welcome people in. It's a very inviting environment that we created with a new pantry there on North Wenatchee Avenue. It's bright. It's you come in and you get a shopping cart and you go through the aisles, so to speak, and collect the food items that you want. And so it really is personal and driven to the individual, and we try to make them feel as comfortable and as welcome as possible.
The hours, I want to say, is it Wednesday and Thursday?
Wednesday and Thursday, 1:30 to 3:30. And then every other Saturday from 10 to 2.
And my guess is your every other Saturday is your busy day?
It's busy, but Wednesday and Thursdays are busy as well. Yeah.
How do you budget this? How do you, going under the assumption that this is not going to go down, how do you crunch the numbers with your spreadsheets when you go to your distributors and your people say this is we did 2 million pounds in 2024, we're going to do 2.5 million in 2025? How do you plan for that?
It's a challenge. There is a decrease in food, if you will, which may be driving up the cost as well. And so our normal providers that we receive the majority of our food from, the bulk of our food from, Northwest Harvest and Second Harvest, they collect food at a much larger bulk purchase price because they're supporting the entire state. Their ability to access food is restricted. It's limited now compared to what it was 2 or 3, 5, 10 years ago even. And so it's more difficult to get food. We are doing more purchasing locally, which fortunately we are able to have the funds to do that. We have some great donors and supporters that continue to support us and allow us to go out and purchase food that we're not able to get through our normal avenues.
But most of the governmental funding is from the federal standpoint, and this is where it helps where you have good working relations with Congresswoman Schreier and Senators Cantwell and Murray. That partnership has to run smoothly.
It has to be run smoothly, and they're great partners. They understand the needs in our area. They visited us many times. They recognize, they see it firsthand, and they're great advocates.
Let's talk about Empty Bowls. Empty Bowls is back again. We've mentioned this before. We're going to mention it again. The next painting party is this Friday, the 17th, at the local event center at the Pybus Public Market. $15 minimum donation. You can donate more if you want. You can donate $100 and not pay a damn thing.
Yeah, you absolutely can. We won't turn it down, but $15 is the minimum to get a bowl and the paints and the brushes, and then your own creativity on how you want to decorate your bowl. But it's a fun event. We have the Apple Blossom Top 10 will be joining us on Friday from I think about 3:30 to 4:30 or 5. They'll be there painting their own bowls. So it's kind of the first glimpse to the top 10 royalty.
And it's a metaphor. Empty bowls, it's an idiom for good reasons.
Yes. So the Empty Bowls, not only is it a fundraiser, it's an awareness campaign for us as well. And we just try to bring, shed a little light that not everybody's bowl is full. And so the bowl is a metaphor, and then we come back together in April after we've taken the bowls and had them glazed and fired. We bring people back together that painted the bowls, and we fill it with soup donated from local restaurants, and we enjoy a soup dinner and a silent auction as well.
Have you outgrown the space? I remember it was at the Wenatchee High School Commons for a couple of years and some other locations as well. Have you?
We're still there, and one of the reasons we're able to be there is we'll have 400 or 500 people come throughout the course of the day, but they come in waves, if you will. So it's over a 3-hour period, and people can kind of come and go as they please.
How can you keep track of all those bowls? How do you know this is the bowl that Bob painted, this is the bowl that Sally painted? How do you keep track of that stuff?
Well, we put a number, so everybody gets their ticket, and their number is ticketed, and then we also align their number with their name in a spreadsheet, and so if they lose their ticket, like I always do, they can look me up by my name, and then they can each bowl is numbered on the bottom, and then we just find the bowl that correlates with the individual.
Again, it is Friday the 15th at the local event center. 17th. Friday the 17th. I don't know why I said that. And then again, Friday the 21st. So we still have, if you can't make it for whatever reason this upcoming Friday, you can do it again on the 21st of February.
24th.
I have 21st too.
Oh, 21st of February. 21st of
Alan
February.
Walken, everybody, get a big hand.
Yes. I know it well. Hey, and especially a painting event on January 31st at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. So you do need to call them and pre-register for that one, but that'll be a special painting on January 31st in the afternoon at the Senior Center. So you can go there as well.
And then the final celebration at the Wenatchee High School Commons Saturday, the 12th, when you get your bowl back and you eat the soup.
And eat the soup and bid on some silent auction items as well. So.
Anything else coming down the horizon while I have you here from the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council that wants our attention?
Those are the big ones. We are organizing another fundraising event in April, but more to come on that one.
Okay, so that's what we call in the business a tease.
A tease, yes. It will be a very unique event for the area that has not been offered. How's that?
So do we have a date come in April to talk about that?
We do. Yeah, we've got a date set, so we'll come back and talk about that one. We'll focus on Empty Bowls today, but a new unique event coming on the horizon.
One last question before we cut you loose, because we've been talking about it. People are watching the show. Many, many thousands of people are watching this program.
Millions.
What's that?
Millions.
Millions. And they're going to go, well, I want in. I want to help Empty Bowls. Do I just show up at the Pybus on Friday? How does that whole thing work? How does the average Joe get involved?
Just show up on Friday. We're there from 3 to 7 p.m. on Friday, so you can just show up anytime during that time frame. Allow yourself a little bit of time to paint the bowl. Don't show up at 7 o'clock, please, and our volunteers get a little bit tired towards the end of the day, but show up at between 3 and 7, grab a bowl, drop down your $15, and have fun.
Everything's taken care of. Art supplies are taken care of. The bowl is taken care of. All you need is your imagination.
That's it.
And $15.
And $15.
Or if you want to do 2 bowls, 30.
30. Yeah. 3 bowls, I believe, would be 45.
There you go. Yeah. You can't. His wife's a banker.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just Right out of the box.
Right
Alan
on
Walker, it's good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Don't be a stranger. We'll get together again in another couple of months.
Yes, we will.
Alan Walker, the Executive Director of the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, and we will be right back.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from Les.
To name yourself after the highest peak in North America? Maybe that's audacity. But towering above is exactly what the first ever all-electric GMC Sierra EV Denali Edition 1 is built to do. With 754 horsepower and up to a GM estimated 400 miles of range, it is the Denali of EVs. The Sierra EV Denali.
It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar presentation of the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. The Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center will host the annual Martin Luther King Jr. Multicultural Fest on Saturday, January 18th from 10 to 3. Multiple booths will display arts, crafts, clothes, and pictures from various cultures, along with dancing, performances, and music. And the City of Wenatchee will award its annual Wenatchee Valley Uplift Awards during the program. The event is free and open to the public.
My name is Lee Kelsitz, and I am an associate professor in the Department of Horticulture and the current endowed chair of environmental tree fruit physiology, and now the programmatic lead for the Wenatchee Tree Fruit Research and Extension Center. I started in 2014 as an assistant professor, moved from Canada down here and started my lab, and yeah, I've been here for almost 11 years now.
What led you into agricultural sciences as a career?
So I initially did my bachelor's degree in horticulture at the University of Saskatchewan, but I grew up on a U-pick berry farm where we grew strawberries and raspberries and Saskatoon berries, which are also known as service berries that are domesticated up in Canada. So that's kind of how I got my start in horticulture. Growing up in Saskatchewan, Canada, winter times are obviously very, very cold. It's colder than Minnesota. So understanding how to have trees just survive those types of cold temperatures was always a challenge, and really piqued my interest and kind of led me down this road to working in environmental physiology in trees. My research itself is focused on how trees interact with their environment, whether that's what's going on above ground, how trees interact with heat. So we get a lot of heat in our summertime, and understanding how apples get sunburned, why they get sunburned, how to reduce the amount of sunburn apples get, and increase the pack out to growers' crops. So yeah, a lot of heat work. And then I also do work with nutrition, so understanding how and when to fertilize trees to produce apples with better fruit quality. There's a side of it where we're trying to understand the whys and hows a tree works or interacts with the environment, and then work with growers to develop ways to optimize that to make sure they're growing the most amount of fruit that is of the highest quality. So the mission of the Tree Fruit Research and Extension Center is to support the tree industry through research, discovery, and outreach, and then that's basically our mission. We're part of a land-grant university, and part of that land-grant mission is research and extension and teaching. So we do all three here. We have graduate education, We have our extension programming and outreach programming that all our faculty do. And then we have our basic and applied research programs that we run here at the Research Center.
And if people have an appreciation and fondness for Washington apples, they might know this as the place where Cosmic Crisp originally came from.
Yeah, some of probably the original cross was the original cross was done out at one of the research orchards, and the seedling was probably grown either in this greenhouse or the greenhouse beside us from the original trees.
Was this extension center, was this center also involved in WA 64, which was just recently developed and named?
Yes, yeah, WA 64 came from the same breeding program that's currently led by Dr. Kate Evans.
Can you describe programmatic lead and what your duties will involve?
Yeah, so the programmatic lead is it's a dual leadership role that the college has developed for this research extension center. So this dual role will have a facilities and operations manager as well as a programmatic lead, which is my role, which is helping to support the faculty, the research and extension faculty here and their programs to help them succeed and serve the industry best. We're still running the search for the facilities and operations manager. I think we're going to be initiating that shortly, and then hopefully we'll have that person in place maybe in the next few months.
The area of study that was that you're most recently involved in, I guess, is climate. There's a special study involving climate and how it affects tree fruit production. So can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so we just finished a study that's part of some of the work that we're just starting now with our large federal project, where we're looking at the impact of climate and extreme temperatures on apple production. So that paper looked at several different points during the growing season, whether it's winter, spring, summer, or fall, looked at critical points in the year that have an impact on fruit quality and fruit yields, and determined whether in the last 40 years those risks have been increasing for fruit losses or decreasing. And we did that nationally. We mapped that across the whole United States and just showed that the risks are increasing to growers in these key apple growing regions.
Can you talk about some specific findings? Like, did you have specific findings that are very relevant to a central Washington orchardist, for instance?
Yeah, I guess the most relevant example is that the probability of having an extreme heat event like we had in 2021 has increased over the last 4 decades and is forecasted to increase more into the near future. So that just growers in Washington are used to dealing with extreme heat temperatures. We have lots of mitigation practices, evaporative cooling or netting or different practices that they use to reduce sunburn, but the frequency of that happening as it increases changes whether those are effective or not. We just need to be mindful and be able to predict those risks a little bit better. In October, we started a fundraising campaign for a plant growth facility, which is essentially replacing these greenhouses that we're currently in right now, with a whole new greenhouse facility and associated labs. So it'd be 26,000 to 28,000 square feet of both greenhouse space and associated lab space. So a lot of our facilities are between 50 and 70 years old. So it's an $18 million facility with an anticipated $10 million from the state, $4 million from royalty funds coming from WA 38 or Cosmic Crisp royalties, and then we're fundraising through donations another $4.2 million. And we are hoping to complete that fundraising campaign by June 30th or July 1st of this year to start construction, which will be an 18-month build and be open, have the facilities open and ready for use in sometime in 2027. We've had this long-lasting impact on the industry over the last 50 years. Our mandate is to support the tree fruit industry both locally, nationally, and internationally. And it's really important that we have our facilities that can help us, allow us to continue that. And that's what this fundraising campaign is about, is developing the infrastructure we need to do modern research, whether it's entomology, whether it's pathology, whether it's plant breeding or physiology, which I do. We all need those types of facilities to do year-round research that impacts the industry and allows us to collaborate and develop partnerships with industry and other academic institutions around the nation and around the world.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. With durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all. You need the Kubota construction lineup. Right now, write it off a lot and write it off your taxes for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $4,000.
Beautiful sunrise out in Ephrata. It's gorgeous out there right now. Ephrata, you're checking in at 27. At one point, at the start of the show, about an hour ago, it was 21 degrees here. In the Wenatchee Valley, we've warmed up to 25 degrees. We'll be about 10 degrees warmer by the end of the day today. We're going to have sunshine all day today, but it's knocking on our door. It's going to start seeping into our area. Basically Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, we're talking about that deep, cold, super dry Arctic air is coming down from Canada. It's going to affect almost the entire country. There's just a couple of areas in the contiguous United States that's really not going to get hit by this really, really cold air. We're lucky, all things considered. It's going to be bone-chilling cold over most, basically east of the Rockies, all the way to the Atlantic coast. Bitterly, bitterly cold. Not real warm here. Once again, some of the overnight lows that folks in our viewing area could be expecting over the next 3 or 4 days, with the coldest temperatures looking to be Sunday night into Monday, maybe Saturday night into Sunday, and then Sunday night into Monday. Of course, Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. You folks up in the Medhow area, you're going to see overnight lows in the single digits. It's a distinct possibility for the Omak-Okanagan area as well. Take a look at where you live. Not real warm out in the Columbia Basin either. So these are the forecast morning and afternoon high temperatures for areas outside of the Wenatchee Valley, taking you all through Wednesday of next week. We will gradually warm up. It's going to take a time, but this is a rather frigid Arctic air mass is bringing us the coldest temperatures we've seen all winter long. But again, we have it easy compared to what most of the United States is going to be dealing with starting tomorrow at the inauguration on our nation's capital on Monday. They could say temperatures could be, wind chills could be like 10 degrees. Wear your long underwear. From the National Weather Service, sunshine today, and a lot of it all day today. 36 for our forecast high, so it's going to be a little bit warmer than yesterday. We're going to have more radiant sunshine, and of course the days are just a little bit longer. And then we start getting cold. 20 for the overnight low tonight. We won't get to the freezing mark on Saturday. We'll also have a few more high clouds kind of huming in as the cold front begins to roll in. It won't last very long. We'll get up to about 30. And then we get cold for those overnight lows. 18 for the overnight low on Saturday night. Sunday about 30. Lots of sunshine for the holiday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, although we will be here working. 30 degrees on Monday. Monday night, 18, cold. Tuesday, a few clouds, only about 31. Then we start warming up a little bit come Wednesday and Thursday, but outside of that, get ready for some pretty cold weather. All things considered, we're used to it. Have a good and safe weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.